Good morning. I'm Dr. Wilson Pearl, Associate Professor, Department of Corporate Secretaryship of KCS Kasaragod College of Arts and Science. Now, we're going to start a new chapter, issue of shares. Share capital is nothing but the issue of shares is nothing but share capital. Why the company issues the shares? The purpose of issuing shares by the company is to raise fund, raise the money, raise the capital for the expansion of the business. Okay, what is the definition of share capital? The share capital constitutes the basis of the capital structure of a company. Ownership of a company is vested in its shareholders, and a share represents the extent of ownership or the interest in the assets and profits of the company. In this sense, a share may be defined as one of the equal part into which the capital of a company is divided, entitling the holders of the shares to a proportion of the profits. Okay, and there are so many different types of. There are three types of shares. Three kinds of shares are there. Types of shares are there. One is preferential, then is equity share, then shares with differential rights. Okay, now issue of shares. The shares issued are for different purposes as well. The shares are issued by the company are broadly of two types. One is for cash consideration, another one for non-cash consideration. There are two types of shares. Out of these two types, there are four ways you can issue. What are the four ways you can issue shares? The first one, issue of shares for immediate full consideration. The second one is issue of shares consideration receivable in installment, termed as application money, allotment money, first call, final call that you did in +2. Then issue of shares without any consideration, issue of bonus shares, example. Then issue of shares through other methods, the rights issue method, employee stock option method, sweat equity, private placement. Issue of shares for immediate and full consideration. There are two types in here. There are two types are non-cash consideration. One is, another one is cash consideration. Cash consideration is what we saw in the +2 as well. Now we are going to see what is non-cash consideration. Non-cash consideration means when a company purchases assets, in those times the company may not have the sufficient fund to pay in cash. In such circumstances, the company issues its own share capital in the place of cash. So that is what is called non-cash consideration. Okay, then even at the time of purchasing a business, they do this option. They opt for this option. They issue shares. If at all, if there's any need, they'll issue cash as well. Sometimes both together in different proportions. Okay, so that is it. So that is your cash consideration and non-cash consideration. Okay, for purchase of business, you write two entries are there. Then for buying the business, at the time of taking over assets and liabilities, you write one entry. Then second one, when you write second entry is nothing but when you issue the shares. Okay, there are two options are there. Okay, now we'll go to the second entry is for issue of shares, vendors account data to share capital. Okay, the first entry is when you purchase an asset, when you take over the assets and liabilities of a business, you write asset account data, goodwill account data to liabilities account, to vendor account, to capital reserve account. And the goodwill and capital reserve will be the balancing figure. Either you will get goodwill, neither you will get capital reserve. Either one of this will be your balancing figure. Is it clear? Then the second entry for the issue of shares is vendors to share capital. Okay. Any doubt? Next one. We'll go to the next one. Next slide. Now, the issue of shares to promoters. When you issue shares to the promoters, you write goodwill to share capital. You don't write the name of the promoter. You write the goodwill account data to share capital. Okay. The shares are issued for cash consideration in full. When it is issued for cash in full settlement means you don't have this application money, allotment money, first call money, final call money. These are things will not be there. In those cases, you will issue shares for full consideration, which means if it is issued at par, you write bank account data to share capital. When it is issued at premium, you write bank account data to share capital to securities premium. When it is issued at a discount, you write bank account data, discount account data to share capital. Okay, so these are three entries for full cash consideration. Okay, we'll go to the next slide now. Then, when the shares are issued for an installment basis, which you did earlier, and from the +2 you'll be doing that. You named it as a company account. Now it is issue of shares. Okay, then The first entry, when you have application money received, you write bank account data to share application. Then you transfer this application money to share capital. That is the second entry. That is for transferring the money received on application to share capital. Okay, whatever the money received will be finally transferred to share capital. Okay, now the second entry will be application account data to share capital. Then there are two more credits are there, to bank, to share allotment. The bank is nothing but when you have excess money. When you have excess money, you repay them. That is what is rejected, a return, a refund. What is returned? It is given in the brackets. Then if it is excess money, sometimes will be transferred to allotment. They will be adjusted over the allotment due. So that is what is called pro rata allotment. Adjusting excess application money towards allotment. That is what pro rata allotment. Okay. Then third entry will be for allotment. One thing you can make note, for every installment, if it is application, you will have two entries with the application. If it is allotment, you will have two entries with the allotment. If it is first call money, you will have two entries with first call money. If it is final call money, you will have two entries with final call money. So for each and every installment, you will have two entries. Keep that in mind. So that is easy way to remember things. Okay. The third entry for allotment. Now onwards, you write the due entry first, then you write the bank entry. The application, the first application alone, first installment application alone, you write the bank entry first. See, you wrote the bank entry because it is the one we receive first. Then only we will know who are the persons who are supposed to pay to the company. Once you know the person, we will write the due entry first. So this allotment money due is the third entry. So once we know these are the person who applied for the shares, we give a call letter to them. Say you have shares been allotted, you have to pay the allotment money. Okay, that is the allotment money. Okay, then finally they receive the allotment money. When it is a due entry, you will have him. If it is issued at premium, you will have premium. If it is issued at discount, you will have discount. The entry will be share allotment account data, share discount account data to share capital to securities premium. If it is discount, you will have debit. If it's premium, you will have done the credit. Okay. Now for receipt of allotment money, when you receive an allotment money, you write the entry bank account data to share allotment. And if there is any arrear, if there is any person, if there is any holder, any shareholder who didn't pay the allotment money, in that case you will have the arrears on the debit. You write bank account data, allotment arrear account data to share allotment. If everyone has paid the allotment money, then you will not have this allotment arrear over here. Okay. Then we'll go to the next slide. Have the entry for the first call money. See, as I told you earlier, for first call, when you have first call, you have two entries. The due entry will be first call account data to share capital. Then you receive the money. Bank account data, first call arrear account data to share first call. Then second call money, share second call account data to share capital. That is due entry. When you receive, you write bank account data, share second call arrear account data to share second call. Is it clear? So you have every installment you have two entries. First call 2, second call 2, allotment 2, application 2. Okay. Then we go to the forfeiture. The purpose of forfeiture is for non-payment of shares. Certain shareholders will not have paid the money due on the time when it is required them to pay. In such circumstances, these shares will be forfeited. Okay, which will be taken away from them. Which means taken away from them means not literally. The names against a particular share will be striked off from the register of the company. So therefore, they cease to exist. They cease to be the member of the company, a shareholder of the company. Okay, then these shares will be forfeited. For such a circumstance, you will have an entry: share capital account data, allotment arrear account to share first calls in arrear account to share forfeiture. This is the forfeiture entry. I'll repeat: share capital account data with the full value of the share capital which is forfeited, and the number of shares that is forfeited. Then if there's any arrear which you have in allotment, you write that money here. Then call money, you write it here. The remaining is share forfeiture account. Okay. We'll go to the next slide now. Then now it is, if the shares are issued at premium and the premium money is in arrear, in such a circumstances, you will have a different entry now. The entry will be share capital account data, share premium account data to allotment arrear, to calls in arrear, to share forfeiture. You got it? So there are two different forfeitures are there. So in first forfeiture, you don't have the share premium account data or security premium account data. Okay. So instead of that, you will have here. Okay. There is second type of forfeiture, the reissue. Reissue means when the forfeited shares will not be kept idle in the company. They take away from one person and give it to another person who is interested in becoming a member of the company. In that case, it is called reissue. Then the entry will be called bank account data, share forfeiture account data to share capital account. Is it clear? Next, finally, through the forfeiture, if there is any profit or loss, the company will check if there is any profit or loss through the forfeiture that is taken place. Then if there is any profit, you call it as share forfeiture account data to capital reserve, last entry. Okay, normally you will not go for a loss, you will always go for a profit. So therefore, always it will be a profit or it will be nil balance. It cannot be a loss. Okay, share forfeiture account data to capital reserve is the last entry. Okay, we'll go to sums now. Read the sum now. Okay. A company acquired land costing 5 lakh, and the payment and in payment allotted 55,000 equity shares rupees 100 each as fully paid. Further, the company issued 20,000 equity shares to the public. The shares are payable as follows: 30 on application, 30 on allotment, 40 on first and final call. The public applied for all the shares and they have allotted. All the money was received except the call on 1,000 shares. That is first and final call on 1,000 shares. Give journal entries and the balance sheet of the company. Okay, there are two types of activities that taken place here. One, the company issuing certain number of shares to buy the land for the company. When they buy the land, they issue shares instead of paying cash to them. Okay. The second one, they are issuing the shares to the public as well. So two activities are taking place. Okay, so it will mean first you will pass the entry for the non-cash consideration for purchase of land. So the entry will be land account data to share capital. You have to write the narration for each and everything. Okay, you are already there from your plus one, you know that. The heading will be taken as a narration, being land purchase by issue of shares. That's it. Then application. Now it is issued 20,000 shares issued to public. Okay. Application 30, an allotment 30, first call and final call 40. Okay. Which means there are 3 installments are there. For each and every, I told you, for application you have 2 entry. For allotment you have 2 entry. For first call and final call you have 2 entry. Therefore you have 6 entries together for this sum. And 1 entry for the purchase of land. So it will be easy for you to understand now. The first entry, land account data to share capital. The 5 lakh, the value, being land purchased by issue of shares. Then for receipt of application money, I told you, first you start with the receipt, then you transfer the money to share capital. So bank account data to share application account, 6 lakh. That is 20,000 into 30. Then the same money is transferred to the share capital, application account data to share capital. Is it clear? We'll go to the next slide now. Now, that is your allotment money now. Share allotment account data to share capital. If there's any discount, you'll have share discount account data. If it is a premium, you'll have share to security premium account. There's nothing is there. Therefore, you write share allotment to share capital. Then, when you receive the same money, the 6 lakh, bank account data share allotment 6 lakh. So, 2 entries for allotment. Is that clear? Then, 2 entries for first and final call. Here in first and final call only there is an arrear. Okay, but you first write the due entry for a number of shares, 20,000 shares into 40 will be 8 lakh. Okay, the share first and final call account data to share capital 8 lakh, share capital account 8 lakh. Then for receipt of first and final call money, bank account data, first and final call arrear account data to share first and final call. Out of 8 lakhs, 40,000 value of shares was not received. Okay, therefore, so you will have 7 lakh 60 on the bank. Total amount is receivable is 8 lakh. Out of this, 40,000 is not received. The remainder will be the money received. Is that clear? Normally, 8 lakh is here written here. That is the due money in first and final call. Out of this 8 lakh, 40,000 is not received. Therefore, you call it as arrear, which means what the remainder money only will be received. The remainder money is 7 lakh 60,000. That's it. Then you go to the balance sheet now. I'll tell you how to write the balance sheet now. So this is the format you write the balance sheet. Shareholders fund, share capital, reserve surplus, non-current liability, current. Even though there is nothing, you will write and you will put a dash over there. Okay. Then for asset side, non-current asset, fixed asset is also heading under the tangible asset, intangible asset. Then you can also write one more there here, non-current investments. Then you write current asset, that is cash and other current assets. Okay. Now we know we have issued 5 lakh for land. The remaining 20,000 shares we issued to the public. So 5 lakh is for land. 20,000 into 100 will give me 20 lakh. Therefore, total 25 lakhs. Out of this 25 lakh, 40,000 is not received because there is an arrear. what is the share capital will be value then? 24,60,000. Okay. Then out of this 24,60,000, 5 lakh is for land, that is tangible asset. The remaining only the cash money received. Okay. So that's all about the first sum. Okay, we'll go to the next sum. Now, Butley Boy Company Limited issued 50,000 equity shares of ₹10 each. Is it clear? To the public on condition that full amount of the shares will be paid in lump sum. So here it is not allotment, it is not installment, it is full amount lump sum. All the shares are paid up by the public. Okay, there are three circumstances how they issue. If it is issued at par, if it is issued at premium, if it is issued at discount. There are three ways. The first way, if it is issued at par, how many shares are issued? 50,000 shares are issued. So 50,000 into 10 will give me 5 lakh. So if it is issued at par, bank to equity share capital 5 lakh. Narration will be being 50,000 equity shares issued in full consideration. Okay. Then if it is issued at premium, bank account equity share capital to securities premium account. Okay. 5 lakh, 10% will give you 50,000. Therefore 550 is money received, extra money. Premium means extra money you receive. Okay. Then share capital is 5 lakh, then 50,000 is premium. Then when it is issued at discount, bank account discount account to share capital. Okay. Got it? But a 5 lakh, 10% is discount, which means only 450 will be received. 50,000 will not be received. Okay, you have to write the narration, but I didn't write, but you have to write. Okay. We'll go to the next sum now. Ram Limited purchased assets for 8 lakhs from Sunil Brothers. It's issued equity shares of ₹100 each, fully paid up in satisfaction of the claim. Make journal entries to record these transactions. Okay, they purchase asset for 8 lakh from Anil Brothers by issue of equity shares. So when you purchase asset, you write one entry or you write two entries. If it is for 2 months, you write only one entry. If it is for 5 months, you write two entries. For purchase of asset, one entry. Then for issue of shares, another entry. Okay, the first entry is for 2 months, you write one entry. Asset to equity share capital. If it is asked for 5 months, you write, when you purchase an asset, you write separate entry. For issue of shares, you write second entry. So that is what second option given here, R. So asset account to Anil Brothers, then Anil Brothers account to equity share capital. Okay, so this is your sum number 3. Okay, we'll go to sum number 4. Kailash Limited purchased the business of Mani Brothers for 54 lakhs, payable in fully paid shares of ₹100 each. What entries will be made in the books of Kailash if such issue is at par, if it is at premium, if it is at discount? Okay, we are going to find the same, their purchase business of for 54 lakhs. If the assets are purchased for 54 lakh, what is the entry will be made if it is issued at par, premium, discount? Okay, here I am going to do two entries. First entry will be the same for everything. Sundry asset to Mani Brothers 54 lakhs. Okay, the second entry only will differ according to the issue price. If it is par, one entry. If it is a premium, we'll have premium. If it is discount, you have discount. Okay, the first entry is different. The second entry, there are three options are there for second entry. First entry, Sundry asset to Mani Brothers 54 lakh. Then if it is issued at par, say Mani Brothers to equity share capital. Okay, and if it is issued at premium, the premium is included in this 54 lakh. You assume that way. If it is issued if the shares are issued to public, you get extra money from the public. Okay, since it is issued for purchase of business, the money cannot be increased or cannot be decreased. It should be everything should be adjusted within this 54 lakh. Okay, therefore, if it is a premium, you say if it is 20% premium, you say this amount 54 lakh is for 120 rupees. 54 lakh is for 120. That's what I have done here. So 54 lakh divided by 110 will give me 45,000 shares. So 45,000 and 100 will give me 45,000 into 100 will give me how much? It is 45 lakhs. Then premium accordingly. So it is 20% premium. From the face value, you will write 20% premium, 9 lakh. Okay. Then if it is discount, the same 54 lakh. From this you calculate what is the discount percentage? 10. Therefore 54 lakh divided by 90, 100 minus, if it is a premium you had here, if it is a discount you minus, see. So 54 lakh divided by 90 you write. So in that case you will get 60,000 shares. So 60,000 into 10%. 60 lakh share rupees, 60 lakh into 10% will give you 6 lakh. The remaining money is received, that is 54 lakh. You got it? That's it. Okay, we'll continue in the next class.